NBA Twitter was taken aback on Monday night when Bradley Beal apparently traveled while trying to avoid Blake Griffin as the Washington Wizards took on the Detroit Pistons. Beal was driving toward the basket when Griffin jumped in front of him, prompting Beal to lose control of the ball and stutter step before finally dishing out to a teammate. No travel was called on the play, which led to widespread criticism of the officiating crew on social media. On Tuesday morning, the NBRA said, through their Twitter account, that Beal did not travel thanks to his loss of possession. Here's what they had to say: the offensive player gathers with his right foot on the ground. He then takes 2 legal steps before losing control of the ball. After regaining possession, a player is allowed to regain his pivot foot and pass or shoot prior to that foot returning to the ground. This is legal. https://t.co/ohbqghw3w7 NBA referees at official NBARFs, February 12, 2019. Late Tuesday night, the NBA's VP of Referee Development, Monty McCutcheon, said that the NBRA was wrong and that Beal did in fact travel. Via Dave McMenamin of ESPN, while in some cases a fumble at the end of a dribble on the gather can be retrieved, that is not what happened on this play, McCutcheon told ESPN. Bradley Beal gathers the ball and takes 2 steps, but then loses control of the ball. Once he has lost control after taking the 2 steps, he must regain control and pass or shoot before taking another step in order to be legal. Since he does not regain control until another step, the play is a travel. Through all the technicalities, this feels like a Justice Stewart situation. That is, a travel when you see it, even if its definition is in dispute. It's possible the NBRA comes back at McCutcheon, but for now, we can put this to bed. The Pistons beat the Wizards, 121-112. The pre-game rituals of NBA players are elaborate. Handshakes, high fives, and starting lineup dances are all a part of the fan experience in arena. In fact, many of them are so intricate that it makes you wonder just how much time these guys spend coordinating them. For the Toronto Raptors, part of that coordination apparently did not include giving a heads-up to newest teammate Marc Gasol. As the Raptors got set to take on the Brooklyn Nets on Monday night, Gasol was left standing, looking dumbfounded as Kyle Lowry did a fake workout instructor routine with the rest of the team. Via Twitter, in any case, Gasol is fitting right in with Toronto after being traded by the Memphis Grizzlies. During the game on Monday against the Nets, Gasol scored 16 points while grabbing 6 rebounds with 2 assists, a block and a steal. The Raptors beat Brooklyn, 127-125. Dirk Nowitzki is one of the best star three-point shooters in NBA history. The Dallas Mavericks legend will be a part of the 2019 Mountain Dew three-point contest this upcoming weekend at the 2019 NBA All-Star Game in Charlotte, North Carolina. However, Nowitzki isn't exactly a kick shooter, and his stroke has been the brunt of some jokes in the past. Players have just 1 minute to get all 25 balls in play, so it could be a stretch to get Nowitzki to actually finish on time. In fact, Nowitzki knows that fact and joked with Mark Stein of the New York Times that he had asked Adam Silver for an extension. Via New York Times, I have to be honest. Even though you won it once, in 2006, I never really thought the contest suited your shooting style, running from rack to rack and throwing up quick threes. How do you see it? Dirk: I don't mind it. It's different obviously than catching and shooting during the game. Even the year I won in Houston, I almost got bounced in the first round for not finishing my last rack in time. It's harder for taller guys. We have a longer, slower release. I was joking with Adam Silver that I should get an extra 15 seconds to finish all the racks, since I'm the elder statesman, but I don't think that's going to happen. Look, Dirk is in there sort of as respect to his career, why can't he get a little veteran consideration? Obviously that comment was made tongue-in-cheek, and Nowitzki was a champion of this very event back in 2006. No doubt Nowitzki will have a strategy for how to get the balls in the bucket and off the rack on time. Anthony Davis will be traded before next season. Just because it didn't happen at the trade deadline last week, as Davis, his agent Rich Paul, and the Lakers wished and pushed for, doesn't mean the Pelicans will keep him into next training camp. New Orleans understands it needs to get as much back for Davis as it can to help jumpstart a rebuild, and the Pelicans believe they could get a better deal this offseason than they could in February. Now what happens? First, Davis plays the rest of the season for the Pelicans. He'll have reduced minutes, likely sitting out back-to-backs, and those things could hurt his All-NBA, postseason awards status a little. However, that's the only real price, so long as Davis stays healthy. Everyone involved will just hold their breath every time he steps on the court, hoping he avoids injury. After that, there are 3 key moments to watch. 1. The NBA Draft Lottery on May 14th. There is a potential franchise-changing star at the top of this draft in Duke Zion Williamson. After that, there's a drop-off in talent and questions about the guys next on most draft boards. R.J. Barrett, Duke; Ja Morant, Murray State; Nasser Little, North Carolina; Cam Reddish, Duke, which means the Pelicans may not be wowed by pick no. 3 or number 5, unless they fall in love with one of those players. If the team that wins the draft lottery is potentially willing to deal the pick, we're looking at you, New York Knicks. The Pelicans will listen. Most likely, especially with the new, flattened-out lottery odds, the winner of the lottery will be a team that would keep it: Cleveland, Chicago, Atlanta, but the Pelicans are interested to see the lottery outcome and how it could impact the offers coming their way. 2. The Eastern Conference Playoffs. So much of July's free agency could hinge on the taste left in players' mouths by the postseason. For example, Kawhi Leonard may feel very differently about staying in Toronto if the Raptors make it through to the NBA Finals than if the team is bounced in the second round. In the Davis saga, this becomes mostly about the Boston Celtics. The Celtics lobbied the Pelicans to wait, not to trade Davis at the deadline, to give them a chance to get in on the bidding and fulfill GM Danny Ainge's dream scenario of pairing Davis with Kyrie Irving. Talk to front office people, scouts around the league, and they believe almost to a man the Celtics can put together the best offer the Pelicans will see. Some Lakers fans push back on this idea. Every time I write it, I will tell you what I've heard from sources in the league. Jason Tatum is higher rated because of his potential than any Laker youngster. The Memphis pick is not only more valuable than any Laker pick, it could be the second best asset offered to New Orleans, and most have Jaylen Brown right in the mix with the Lakers' Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma core. However, Ainge's dream of pairing Irving with Davis only works if Irving stays and re-signs with Boston this summer. Ainge is confident it will happen, but he's on an island with that one. The Celtics have played like individuals. Irving has called out his young teammates for not sacrificing enough of their games, while he has sacrificed almost nothing in terms of shots and usage rate, and rumors persist around the league that Irving wants to join Kevin Durant in New York. If Irving leaves the Celtics, the calculus changes for Ainge. He probably can't put Tatum in any offer. And that makes it difficult to put together a clear best offer. Bottom line, if Irving is frustrated and disgruntled and wants out of Boston, the Lakers and everyone else are in the game. And everyone else could now include the Los Angeles Clippers, who can put together a package based around Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Lou Williams, plus a bunch of first-round picks, including the Miami 2021 unprotected pick. That might tempt New Orleans. 3. Can the Lakers make a trade to get back in the Davis game? Will they need to? From the day it was leaked Davis had asked for a trade out of New Orleans, sources with an understanding of the Pelicans' thinking told me the Pelicans were not going to rush the process. They would be patient. One part of it was they liked the idea of multiple bidders getting involved. Another part was they didn't want to feel pushed and bullied into a trade. Another aspect was the Pelicans were not that high on the Lakers' young players. They were good, but not as good as the Pelicans wanted. After the season ends for the Lakers, they may quietly explore a trade that could send some of those young players out to bring back someone the Pelicans value more highly. Who is that? Likely someone we don't know is available. However, if there is a mystery Team X that highly values Beal or Ingram, and a pick gets thrown in the trade, it works for our mystery team. If the Lakers can add a couple better first-round picks, it might help too. And it might not matter. The Pelicans are going to do what they believe is best for the franchise this summer, and that could mean changing general managers, bringing in a new front office for Magic Johnson, Rob Pelinka and the front office to negotiate with. What that new front office is looking to get back in a trade, and how they value certain players, could vary from the people the Lakers have been negotiating with so far. Which means there's just a lot of uncertainty around the coming Anthony Davis trade. We're all just trying to read the tea leaves. Which is why we'll be watching these three areas closely. A few people pay a lot of money to sit near an NBA court so they can heckle opposing players. It happens almost every game. They do it because you'd have to ask them. Occasionally it's physical plays or fouls on the court and everyone's emotions are up, but most of the time it is just a guy barking. It all seems a little Napoleon complex to me. More times than not, those hecklers, or their compatriots, are videoing the moment, hoping to get a response. Usually, players ignore it. However, the Clippers' Montrezl Harrell had enough of it Monday night in Minnesota and fired back at a fan, telling him to shut the F*** up. The video is below, but if this kind of NSFW language offends you, then don't play it. That earned him a $25,000 fine from the league for directing inappropriate language toward a fan, which he did, and the NBA understandably does not want its players cussing out fans. Harrell has a little history of this. Back in December, when leaving the court, he got baited into going up some stairs to yell at a fan, but this is his first fine for it. Harrell is having a standout season for the Clippers, averaging 15.8 points and 6.7 rebounds a game, bringing an energy that has him in the sixth Man of the Year conversation.